Hey Legionnaires, and welcome back. We're here with some more Rome 2 for you today, and we have a glorious 3v3, and already it is getting underway as we have Galatia here going in against Seleucid cavalry. Both sides decided to have like a bit of a cavalry standoff outside the front walls, and it seems like the defenders are now going in, and they're going after a Seleucid general as well. A Hellenic cataphracts here, not able to get a charge off, but it's only being charged by Egyptian cavalry, so it's not really the strongest in the world. And there is also infantry now coming up to support. We've got some chosen swords from Arverni coming in. But yeah, this is a awesome 3v3 that I was sent by a member of my Discord. Apparently it's a really close one. We have like a Gallic sort of confederation, you could kind of say. We have Boii and we have Arverni here, and they're being backed by the Seleucids all the way over in like Syria. So what is going on there, who knows. We then on the defense have Galatia, we also have Nervii, and we have Egypt. So you can kind of say that it's like, I don't know, a war between Seleucid and Egypt, because they're both rivals and they're both calling in some Gallic reinforcements, because there's a lot of goals here today. It is going to be an interesting one for sure. But the carry fight is still going on down here. Seleucids seem like they're losing it, but are slowly turning around by having infantry support coming in. We've got these silver shields that are coming in and cutting down these Egyptian cavalry. But if you're enjoying seeing Rome 2 on the channel and would like to see some more Rome 2 action, then do remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're around here, and a comment to show your support. As always, guys, it's very much appreciated. And yeah, just keep up the support as we work towards 5k subs. And the mercenary Cappadocians now being charged here by the citizen cab of Seleucid. So this is a bit of a bold move. I think these citizen cab, I don't think will beat them. I guess they're just pinning down the cav so the silver shield swords can get in there. And this general is actually getting pretty battered up. 46 out of 80. I mean, he's also getting shot from the walls here. These Celtic slingers doing a bit of damage. So they need to be careful about that. They cannot afford to lose this Hellenic cav. Well, like lose the Seleucid general so early on. I mean, luckily they are breaking all of the cav now that sallied out. Apart from this Egyptian cav here. I mean, I'll get this Egyptian cav and try and keep pinning down this Hellenic cataphract. I mean, that's what you want to do. He's down to 35, 34. Oh, he's in a bad spot. But as you can see, the defenders are now preparing to defend the walls as the attackers have got the siege towers to the walls. We have a lot of Celtic Warriors coming up, chosen swords. Seems like Arverni's really the one pushing forward the towers. Boii's got a few coming forward, but they've stopped. Seems like they're just going to push this one corner, which seems like a little bit of a narrow-minded tactic. It's going to make it very easy for the defenders, I'd imagine, to defend this spot. Celtic bowmen trying to get shots into the back, so these legionaries are a very good idea. Yeah, Seleucids haven't moved up their towers at all. They've been so delayed because of the cavalry. They are now moving them up. They've got thorax swords on the wall, like on the towers, ready to attack the walls. But yeah, that was a. I don't know how effective that cavalry charge was. I mean, if they got the general, that would have been huge. If they got some of these archers, that would have been better, taking out these Syrian heavy archers. But yeah, got neither. I mean, all they did was kill a bit of cav and maybe annoy a few infantry units. But yeah, nothing like major. So it seems like it's a little bit of a waste there by the defenders. But we'll see. We will see how that affects the battle. Celtic Warriors now landing. I mean, they're probably not going to beat these Galatian Legionnaires, but the first wave is always just a tester for the defenses. And here we go, in they go. The Celtic Warriors going in against some Celtic brethren, the Galatian Legionnaires. Also, if you want to get involved in some Rome 2 action, or just any general Total War stuff, then do feel free to join the Discord. The link is down below in the description. You can also send in your own replays then, and then that's the best way to get in contact with me and have your replay maybe feature on the channel. But yeah, we've got some Celtic Warriors again here facing against Galatian swords. They may have a bit more of luck here. These are like both medium melee. Actually, well, Celtic Warriors are light melee. No, maybe not then. I mean, they've got better luck getting through here, though, than they do against the very heavy legionaries. Actually, I'll say that. These guys are losing. They're getting focused down in the back. That's why Boii is still focusing down these legionaries as much as possible. And already, you can see that they found a hole in the line. Chosen swords here already breaking through. And the legionaries desperately trying to get out of there, losing a lot of men doing so. Second line already is kind of in place. We have some Thoros spears now going in to try and pin down these Chosen Swords. They have no hope of beating them, I don't think, unless they get some support. But the idea is just to pin them down. I think we've got some fierce swords from Nervii ready as well. You can see here, look at this, Galatia is in full retreat. He's in a bit of absolute chaos over on this flank. He needs to reform. Arverni's made a nice little push early on. Already seeing Nervii troops break here, fierce swords being killed off. Boii is now getting some troops into here, along with Egypt. Don't really know what they're fighting. I guess the Egyptians, of course. It's because I keep thinking that the Egyptians on the outside because they're cav there. They made a breach point here, so that's good. So Boii is kind of getting pinned down though. Don't know how effective that's going to be. This one breach point for Boii, just keep spilling troops in. It's probably going to just make it very easy. I mean, Egypt and Nervii, I've got a fair amount of troops over here positioned, so they could hold for a little while. And yeah, look at this, so many sword files being spilled through. You imagine that just eventually numbers are going to make the defenders pay, and you can see already here there's a gap in the line. Sword files is now going to go into the flanks of these fierce swords, and yeah, they're going to get cut down. Feels weird doing this wintry setting while we're in the middle of August. Got some legionaries setting up here though. They're jabbing into the flank of these sword followers. That's a pretty good little flank they got going on there. More troops being broken here though. Karani and Axeman being broken. This front line for the defenders is certainly being tested. Certainly being tested. And now the Seleucids arrive. They haven't even arrived yet. Galatia and Nervii again have more troops over here, but again it's not really a lot. I don't know why they didn't just go army to army, just try and match them instead of just doing this weird mix. I don't know what they tried to do. Also, I don't know. It's a bizarre one for sure. Fierce swords now going in against the sword followers. These mad lads going in with no shirt on. All sorts of just like various different Celts in here. Looks like the sword followers trying to break through. I don't know. I don't think there's a gap here, but they I think they look like they're pulling through a little bit. And the Storak sword here from Egypt is not going to hold much longer. It's starting to waver. They're trying to hold back far too many Boii troops. Boii, though, I've seen more and more recently is becoming a very like strong and favorite like faction people to use on Rome 2. It's just a very effective army at cheap cost. Like these sword followers are not expensive and they're very effective. And you can see they've broken through here again with the fall of this Egyptian unit. They're now able to just spill on in, and again, I don't know where the defenders are going to defend now. They're in a real bit of trouble. Like a lot of Galatian troops being caught out here. You can see these Galatian legionnaires. Actually, they can retreat here, thankfully. I thought they were just stuck in this little, like, town square. I thought they were going to die in there. But, I mean, this is not looking good. I hope that the defenders have plenty more back here. We cannot see their generals, in fairness, and I'm hoping they have plenty more. It looks like they're doing, like, maybe, like, a layered defense. Because they have not committed all their troops, that is for sure, at the defenses. That may cost them, though. Like, just fighting army piece by piece, fighting the attackers could cost them. Boii already seem like they committed most of their troops, though. No, maybe not. I just saw, like, OATHSWORN already in there. I was like, oh god, this is not looking good for Boii. But they got plenty of OATHSWORN. They brought a lot of them. Wow. And obviously, still got a ballista here. I presume with some ammo. They probably want to use that. General. A lot of their archers have been killed, though, Boii's. They lost a lot of bowmen. That may be affected late game, for sure. I'm just thinking, actually, yeah, we've not seen many, like, bowmen for, like, Nervii or anyone like that. So maybe, well, they've got a few over here, but I feel like the defenders are saving a lot of ammo and maybe a lot of bowmen for the last stand. The legionaries down here, they're battling with the sword followers. Getting shot in the back. Who are they being shot in the back by? Mercenary Cretan archers from Egypt. Really good shots here. Yeah, breaking these sword followers. So there you go. Starting to see a little bit of a change in favour. Over here, fierce swords trying to hold back the chosen swords of Arverni. But the weight class is just so different. Chosen Swords can just beat Fierce Swords every time. Fierce Swords are just a bit like naked swords for me. Like, obviously they're both like wearing very few clothes, and they're just very much more a shock infantry unit. Both medium swords as well. Not that that really matters. Throw Spears getting a chance to throw off as many jabbies as possible. Not that that's really going to, like, the angle doesn't really suit them. They're kind of throwing over the top of their own troops, like their own allies, to try and get in here. The Fierce Swords, yeah, they're getting cut down right now. Being forced back. Maybe next time you should wear a shirt. Fools, 45 of them left. They're sending in, I hope these Cretan archers are out of ammo. Yeah, they are. Yeah, being sent in. I wouldn't bother to send them in on their own, like, support that Fierce Sword. Just mix them in with the Thoros Spears. Legionaries down here, though, they seem to be making, I say progress, but they're defending, so they're not really pushing forward. But they're holding. Put it like that, they are holding. These Chosen Swords and Sword Followers kind of struggling. I mean, they've got Fierce Swords ready in reserve as well. Glacier over here has got a lot of infantry as well set up against Arverni. More legionaries going in. I don't think this is going to be enough, though, to hold back this Chosen Swords unit. I hope that they plan to use some of these reserves that they got set up here. Glacier's Sword set up. But yeah, Seleucids over here finally landing, getting involved in the fight. And they're kind of overwhelming. Poor Glacier down here. Silver Shield Swords, though, it's a rare sighting to see them. I don't often see them because you're often better bringing like Royal Peltasts. Yeah, these guys are very heavy, while the Peltasts are like heavy, but you get more Jabbies. And I think Jabbies can be so very handy in like a siege. They got a lot of Thorax and Silver Shield. Yeah, wow, they did. That's all they really brought. No pikes. I'm very surprised they brought no pikes, especially since like Egypt could be bringing pikes. I'm not sure. I don't think they have got any yet that we can see. Obviously, we have not seen all their armies. But Egypt may have pikes, so I mean, like, that's a bit of a risk by Seleucids not bringing it, because their advance could just get halted by a couple of pikemen. Especially if they use all their ammo up now, the attackers. I don't know how much they have used. Seleucid, I doubt, has used much, if any. But I imagine Boii has used a fair amount. And maybe Arverni. See Fierce Swords now being sent in here to try and support this fight. These guys are losing. I'm pretty sure everywhere I've seen them be sent in. They're not having a good time. You're losing decisively here as well. What is the point in you Fierce Swords? You are having a. I mean, I don't really play Nervii, so I'm not really like sure how to play with the Fierce Swords. But I presume these are like more of a flanking unit than they are like choke point unit. Really, I would have thought. Also, they are fighting units that are much heavier than them. Fighting Chosen Swords here. I'm pretty sure they're heavy infantry. They're fighting OATHSWORN. Wow, yeah, they are not going to stand a chance. OATHSWORN over here being thrown in against Thorax Swords. The battle of the very heavy melee infantry unit. Thorax Swords, I don't know why they're counted as a very heavy melee infantry unit. It's a joke. These guys, just like compared to some other units that are vastly more expensive. I don't know. Then again, Galatian Legionnaires are very heavy as well, I guess, and they're cheap. So are actually there's another unit as well. I can't remember. Tribal Warriors, the Tylus. They're also pretty nasty, and they're cheap as well. So I don't know, but yeah, you can tell like the difference from these expensive, very heavy melee. They just destroy cheap, very heavy melee. You get what I mean. Thorax Swords don't deserve the title. I'm surprised that there's no such thing as a super heavy melee like infantry unit. I mean, as far as I'm aware there isn't, but like the Spartans, for instance, they have like super heavy melee, super like phalanx units, super heavy phalanx units anyway. So I'm surprised the developers didn't think, you know what, we need a super heavy melee unit, like the Romans, for instance. I'm surprised that the armored legionaries or something aren't super heavy. But look at this, anyway. me whittling away, like waffling away. Seleucids are broken through, and they're well in now. And the defenders have got only one response. That's to send some cavalry forward to try and silence these archers. It's not a bad idea. And they got a decent charge off, these Cappadocian cav did, onto the Syrians, but they're not going to silence and kill all these Syrians, or probably rout any of them. Yeah, they've done a bit of damage, but I say that. Seleucids aren't stopping this cavalry. Not that effectively stopping it anyway. These Galatian swords, they're running through. I mean, they're trying to cut down the archers as well. They are wavering, but they are not broken. And they're trying to cut down these archers. They may break this one. I am kind of surprised that Seleucid just allowed this to happen. I mean, luckily all of his archers didn't get caught, but most of them have been caught. Yeah, this one's pretty banged up as well, down to 66. Down to 80. Yeah, these guys are pretty banged up, but yeah, that is going to be the death of Galatia here, you imagine. Galatia's not going to get out of this one alive. It was a good effort. I'll give him that, but yeah, he is not surviving this fight. These few brave Celts, yep, died an honourable death. But I mean, this is not good at all. This entire street here is very much open. Novia's got some archers to defend it, and that is it. They need to start thinking about, I don't know what they've got planned and left. Oh, here we go, OATHSWORN. This is what I want to see. We have OATHSWORN now for Novii being sent up. And we've got Galatian Legionnaires retreating as well. They got silver chevrons. Wow. And more thorax swords. I mean, I don't know if they've just been retreated, I think. What we got back here? Galatian Royal Guard. Wow, we've got some very nasty units. They are certainly going to do some work. Hopefully they've got more back here that is hidden. But they are definitely doing, like I said, they're doing a layered defense of the defenders. And I don't know how great an idea that is. I never really see it pulled off. Especially because you're just working with so little less than the defenders. You're facing the attackers of using their entire army to take out, say, half your army. And then you got the other half that's just probably going to die unless your half an army does an exceptional job. You're kind of in a sticky position. You can see here the Galatian Legionnaires fighting against Celtic Warriors. Surprised many of these Celtic Warriors are still alive. But there's a massive infantry here. I mean, they got their general right near the front line for some bizarre reason, but he's OATHSWORN. I don't think you're going to take him out anytime soon. But here we go. Bowie Eyes coming the rest of their troops in, and this is, yeah, the defenders have got, I don't know, not a lot I wouldn't have said to deal with this attacking force. There's Seleucids are looking pretty much intact. A lot of these infantry, very healthy. Same with Boii and Arvonia. I mean, apart from one or two OATHSWORN units that look a little banged up for the attackers, they've got a lot of fresh OATHSWORN still to go in. I'm hoping that the defenders can pull off a bit of a miracle here. Fierce swords. I like how they're putting 28 fierce swords in the front line. You go die first. Oh, they actually are going to commit them. Wow. They are brave men. This guy's bloodied up as hell. And they're throwing their jabbies. They still have jabbies, that's why. I like that. Throw the 28 jabbies that you have to go and kill as many of these chosen swords. There you go. They're going to be just... I mean, that's just... I'm surprised at these... surprised that these fierce swords are going to beat the chosen swords, but there you go. And there you go. Thorax swords now going into the main front line. Thorax against Thorax. Egypt versus Seleucid. A great rivalry between the successor kingdoms. this is going to be a brutal front line here, you imagine. This is going to go on for a little while. I mean, you can barely tell who's who. They're going to carry on fighting there for a long time. General dead, though. I did not even realize the Seleucids did lose their general. How? How did they lose their gen? I didn't even realize. When did the Seleucid general die? It looks like there's more fighting back here. That's a mystery. I have no... When the heck did that happen? That is something I was not paying attention to. I thought the Seleucid general managed to get out of there alive, but apparently not. There must have been more cavalry or something that, like, snuck in. I don't know. More cavalry that snuck in, but that's going to be huge. Seleucid's, like, morale is not going to be great at all. This is, well, that is something. And they decided to pull back the thorax and put the OATHSWORN in. It's probably a better decision. I mean, they're going to cut through these thorax. Well, obviously, they don't want to carry on doing this because they do need to save some OATHSWORN for the defending OATHSWORN. And the Galatian Royal Guard, they are obviously going to be a major problem as well. And you see the thorax, they're having none of it. They're going to retreat. No point in carrying on the fight where they're losing. Galatian Legionnaires, they're now the next line of defense. But yeah, these thorax need to be careful. They don't want to get too many men cut down. They are, most of them going to get back. Now OATHSWORN can fight these Galatian Legionnaires. I mean, I think you're going to see the same result here. These are still like the weight class, though they're both very heavy melee, one is far more expensive and dangerous than the other. Well, they're sitting in over here, sword followers, yeah, they'll get killed off quickly. But yeah, they've still got plenty actually of the defenders. They've still got a decent amount. We've got generals here, we've got OATHSWORN, got a Ptolemaic cavalry, it's a handy unit. Still got a decent amount. They're going to have to use their archers effectively, but we will see. I mean, I'm a bit worried now that Seleucids have no general. That is a little bit concerning, but they've got a lot of infantry still, which... I mean, I'm surprised they're not pushing down here, but maybe they're a bit worried of all these Syrian archers. I mean, you could probably kill the Syrian archers off. They still have, like, a decent amount of their own. They have, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 units. They could probably focus down that one. Before, like, and, like, overwhelm it is what I mean. So that would be, and then they could just go down there. They could just carry on down that way, but it seems like they're not interested. I mean, it's just like a channel of death. I wouldn't want to risk it myself. But the fighting goes on here. A lot of, like, cycling units in and out going on at the moment. These thorax swords against the Galatian legionaries could be interesting, though. Got quite an even match. I mean, the silver chevron. I say that actually, these guys are getting cut down. The Galatian legionaries are losing far more than the thorax. So I'll take that back. But there, the next line is set up is an absolute death box. As you can see here, I mean, they've got thorax swords, Galatian legionaries, OATHSWORN all like set up, ready. So as soon as they come in to this area, the attackers, they are going to get jabbed from all sides. Thorax swords considering, yeah, these Galatian legionaries like just getting overwhelmed right now. I mean, I don't know why they're sending this thorax to try and like. They should have just retreated this as well. There's no point sending this in. It's just going to go and die now. It's just nothing stopping these OATHSWORN. It's a bit concerning that the defenders aren't breaking much of the attackers currently. Like, they are getting more men cut down than they are cutting down themselves for sure. Balance of power is not looking great as well for the defenders. I mean, it's not out of their grasp. They can still turn this around. They just need to start breaking stuff. I'm not seeing anything for the defenders, for the attackers, sorry, to like being breaking recently. There you go. These Thorax are now surrounded and dead. These Seleucids are losing decisively, even though they're just surrounding some breaking troops. Guess what happens when you get jabbed in the back. Yeah, you can see here, Syrian archers getting slowly picked off by an overwhelming amount of Gallic hunters. Like they're just going to be able to 3 to 1, even though the Gallic hunters like are far more like under armored. 3 to 1 odds. These Syrians stand no chance, and they're getting picked off. They need to get out of there. Yeah. What we got here? We still got some Credence. That'll be handy, and we got some more Celtic slingers up here. I mean, are they doing some damage or something? I hope so. If I can find them again. Oh well. They're dueling with the Syrian heavy archers over here, but I do not think they're going to win this fight. Like, Celtic slingers don't have the greatest morale, and they don't have the greatest armor. They're doing some damage though. I mean, the hope is that these guys break first because they have no general. But who knows? They are focusing down those slingers. Oh, they are wavering. Look at that. They are wavering. And they're bringing forward some Celtic bowmen. They really want to take out all these archers, I think. Not a bad idea. But the siege is slowing down just a little bit. You can see it's just turning into a bit of a skirmish phase at the moment. Credence here dueling. They're pretty banged up. If they take out all these archers for the defenders, then there is I'm not saying no hope for them, but it also allows them to come down this route here and attack down here. And I mean, it also means that when they go into this death box, the archers can't just shoot into the backs of the attackers, which is clearly what they were wanting to do. Yeah, these Cretans are nearly being silenced. They didn't sadly break any of these heavy like these Syrians here. And the Celtic slingers got sent home. I mean, they're still firing at them, which is, I mean, at least that's a small positive there for the defenders, that they're wasting ammo of the attackers on breaking units. But yeah, now they're set up here, like in this little like square. They can almost just fire over the sides and just shoot these OATHSWORN in the flank, which is going to be pretty detrimental to the defense of this point. But yeah, we're just waiting on them to really come forward. I might just fast forward while we wait, because we are just waiting now for the defenders or the attackers to make a move. It's probably going to be the attackers being forced to make the move. The defenders are not going to push forward. We're going to just sit here and wait, it seems. Looks like the attackers are just going to use every bit of ammo before they go in. They really want to take out these remaining archers. Still got Gallic hunters back here and some Syrians from Galatia. And it looks like, there we go, the attackers are going to go in. Sending some weakened units first, as they should. These thorax is getting jabbed. This is really smart by the attackers, making because usually players have jabbies on just auto fire, so they'll fire at the first thing that they hit. So I mean, that's obviously not a good thing if it's a fresh unit, but if it's a weak unit like that, it's really good. It makes you, like, the defenders keep an eye on what they've got on auto fire. You can see over here Nervii hasn't done it, but Galatia and Egypt clearly had left them troops on auto fire. Like, either these OATHSWORN here now have to just get jabbed in the face, but if they dare use their jabbies, they're just wasting them on a really weak unit. I mean, they break the unit, but I'm sure they'd rather use it on this 128 OATHSWORN, or like the 160 that's still to come up. And you can see in here the sword followers is going in. They're just going to die though. It is just a weak unit. It's what you do. You send in the weak ones first. Try and soften up the defenses for when the strong, healthy units coming in. Got back here. More Galatian legionaries. Why have they got just tiny little units of legionaries just sitting back here? What's Galatia's plan there then? You see Galatia's still got archers. I think he's going to get his archers up here. Is he trying to defend this point? I mean, this isn't the main point. The main point is over here where all the generals are. Here we go. Healthy units being sent in now. Silver shields, OATHSWORN, you name it, it's in here now. And Thorax have got to hold this back. Again, they're fighting infantry far more expensive than them. The weight class is just a little bit in favour of the attackers here. The Thorax could really have done with some archer support to shoot into the backs of these guys. Like, you can see what they were intending. They were trying to shoot from, like, say, this cliff up here and fire down into the fight, which would have been really good, but it is unfortunately not happened. See here, more leadery setting up. I mean, I can't have left anything really here. I mean, if I was Seleucids, I'd start a push here. And, I mean, Egypt might as well start thinking about committing these Galatian royal guards to the front line. Not yet, I'm not saying they need to yet, but there's no point holding them back for the final defense. This is it. This fight here is going to be where it's decided. There are so many Gallic troops in here, like, it's a bit, it is a little bit, if you like just glance, kind of like, who's fighting who? We have the Nervii here, the Nervii OATHSWORN fighting, it looks like a mix of, well, actually, it is just Arverni. I thought it was Boii as well. OATHSWORN losing, though. This is a bad sign. OATHSWORN, yeah, being beat, like the Nervii OATHSWORN being beaten by the Arverni one. This is not a good sign. This is Nervii's last throw of the dice, really. After this, he's kind of out of troops. Hopefully, these OATHSWORN can hold for a while. But they're going to need more. They're going to need more reinforcements over here. Fierce swords going in. That's a going to be a good addition to the front line. They're going to need them. But yeah, these OATHSWORN looking rough. 66 already. They're down to. Not good at all. I guess it's just the jabbies being thrown over the top of like this fight. It's the reason why they're losing. Also, probably like the cycling might be doing some damage. I mean, this fresh unit going is going to overwhelm the OATHSWORN here now. If those archers still have ammo, they need to be firing as much as possible. And you can see fierce swords. They probably want to think about going around and supporting their allies there. Well, their comrades. OATHSWORN doing a sneaky little flank here. I wouldn't say that was a pull through. That was definitely like that's okay in my eyes. Well, he's done that. There's a big enough gap as well, and you can see now I'm going to sneak in behind. Where is that general? Where's that Ptolemaic general? Ptolemaic cav? They could do with using him to charge into this OATHSWORN, silence it. Over here, though, you can see Galatia's general now having to be committed. Thorax swords have been sent up this other avenue, and they are losing their Thorax swords. This is good to see. Small little victory over here for Galatia. There is more Seleucids from where they came from. I'm sure they've got plenty more. Actually, I say that. They are not sending any more in this direction. Got some silver shields over here. That's kind of it. Boii's general's kind of open. If they could beat that unit, charge him. Galatian Royal Guard being committed over. I don't think they need to. They need to start looking over here and thinking, we need to send more troops here, because Nervii's in a lot of trouble. Nervii's getting surrounded. Like, he could do with support. Some Galatian Royal Guard would be very handy right now. Yeah, OATHSWORN here getting cut down by their Arverni counterpart, really. Just OATHSWORN versus OATHSWORN. I guess maybe like Galatia's thinking I'm going to do a little flank, but these two tiny units are not going to change the battle. At least I don't think they are going to. Unless they could somehow miraculously kill this Arverni general and chain out his army. I don't think they're going to be doing that. But yeah, Galatia over here. He's managed to batter back a couple of waves, but Boii is still coming forward, and now like Seleucid's coming forward as well. All three armies look like they're going to just be throwing their weight now. Yeah, there you go. Look at this. OATHSWORN left. I mean, this is a tiny little unit of Galatians that's going to hold on. They're going to try and defend these last couple of choke points here. But yeah, the point is right here. They're in a bit of trouble, are the defenders. And they have been kind of all game. Like I said, I don't think it's a good idea to use part of your army to defend. I see what they were trying. I see that they would mix their armies together and try to like support each other. But I feel like they would have been better just going army to army and matching, like someone just going, right, like Egypt for instance, I'll take Seleucids, like Novi, I'll take Boii, and then like Galatia saying I'll take Arverni or something like that. And then that's just how you do it. And then you just use all your army where you need to. And if you need to retreat, you all retreat with all your army. So then you keep your entire army together. Like the defenders have kept their elites all at the back, which yeah, you leave your elites to last to use. But you never know, you may be able to use them at the front lines, like at the very front of the siege. Gallicons is being thrown in now. This is not a good sign. I mean, there you go. There is some pikes, though. Thorax pikes. Why haven't these guys made an appearance earlier? I know that they're probably because there's ammo still left for these archers, but these pikes could have been huge. They could have stopped and advanced. Like, they have brought no pikes here of the attackers. That's what I've been crying out for. It's to see some pikes being thrown in. But yeah, here we go. Galatian Royal Guard losing. Oh, no, this is not good. It's one of my favorite units in the game, Galatian Royal Guard. They're Mr. Reliable. But not today, it seems. They're getting cut down. Well, I say cut down. They're being beaten. They're not really getting cut down. Well, hopefully they can kill this general. I mean, he's combat even. He seems to be doing okay. They're retreating. Nervii is retreating his gen. I mean, well, if they can break this Galatian nobleman here, the attackers, and there's a big gap they can just get around. But honestly, I mean, the pikes are just not going to get any sort of chance. I mean, I would be putting Nervii's general here and sending the pikes up, because like Nervii's general can deal with these two tiny units of OATHSWORN. The pikes need to be over here. They need to be committed in. Look at this though. Galatia's like, oh, not Galatia, Egypt with Galatian Royal Guard really pushing out here. It's like an offensive. A bit of a strange one to be seeing, especially when the main front line is being held on to by a thread. Yeah, they need to get those pikes in the front line. Just swap this general around and get the pikes up here. They could force all these units back. They could at least give themselves a bit of relief, because the attackers won't want to engage those pikes. Thorax pikes are good. They're not like insanely good like Silver Shield or Foot Companions or Spartan pikes, but they're good enough that they could change that battle round. There you go. They're going to move. They are going to move. It's a bit late though. I mean, they could have done with maybe sending these guys back earlier, but I don't know. This is now a big OATHSWORN unit here that could just loop around if it wants to. Galatia could have done with having these little legionary units maybe just over here just to keep an eye on this flank, because yep, there you go. Arverni's now committing. As soon as those pikes moved, they were like, yeah, we're going in. And you just put the pikes back up. And here you go, whatever archer ammo is left is being committed to these pikes. They want to silence these guys as quickly as possible. I don't think they're going to get insane amount of kills with pikes, but they can certainly do a lot of damage to any sort of advance. There you go, the pikes down. They need to push forward a little bit. That is one ability I wish pikes had in Rome 2, and that is pike push. Oh, here we go, General Ptolemy. How does he get around here? I'm presuming he went out the back gate and came round through the breach. Very sneaky. I mean, he is going to pin down this noble horse. You can see here these Silver Shields trying to support the fight. They are losing. It's Galatian Royal Guard. And this, I mean, they could kill Bowii's general off, but I don't think that's going to make a difference. I don't know. They are retreating because of the pikes on this front, but over here you can see Nervii is now having to send his general in, as is Galatia, to silence these little OATHSWORN units. And there's a bigger one on the way, or it was. It's actually turning around. I guess because they've seen these Galatians appear. And the other one broke down here, which, like I said, they're just not going to change the battle. I don't know what they were doing, but yeah, Galatia committing these tiny little sword units, and they're going to just get surrounded and murdered. I mean, it is delayed any sort of flanking going on, I guess. They have hope of beating these OATHSWORN, but they're not. The general here is actually going to die, I think, for Nervii. That's not good. And that then leaves Galatia's general to try and take on 2 OATHSWORN. I don't think he's going to manage that. That is not a good sign. Over here, it looks like Egypt lost his general. We weren't looking, but yeah, he's lost his general. Now, as you can see, there's a chain rout taking place. And that is unfortunate. And that is going to be the battle. Galatian legionaries being the last on the front line here to break. A real shame. But it was a fairly close one. I mean, the attackers don't have masses left. Seemed like they were going to finish with a lot more. But they did a pretty decent job at the end, the defenders. But if they did that at the beginning, you never know. They had a chance then. They just didn't start off their defense very well. This over here, they seemed to crumple really quickly. And there you go, a costly victory for Boii. But yeah, we will quickly go over some of the results. This one was sent in by Ultimate Legend, who was playing as Boii. We also have Bossman, who was playing on the side. I'm pretty sure we've seen him a few times. But yeah, so we'll quickly go over some of the results. Boii here, like I said, played by Ultimate Legend. His cavalry, his heavy horse, getting 136 kills, pretty decent. I'm sure many of those kills came from at the beginning. When that cavalry sally happened. We then have OATHSWORN here. He brought a lot of OATHSWORN. The best one getting 250 kills. His sword followers 174, 290. Some really nice kills there. Then we have Mago playing as Alverni. His archers did really well. 240 kills with his Gallic hunters. His Celtic Warriors getting 216 kills. Chosen swords 220, the best one. OATHSWORN down to getting 199, 253. 334, wow. OATHSWORN are reliable. And then you got Seleucids here. 210 kills with the Syrian archers. The best one here. His general, yeah, getting killed off really early on, losing all of its force and killing no one. I don't know how it died. If someone could tell me who played in this battle, that would be very handy. 175 kills for the Silver Shield swords. 245 for this one down here. Some pretty good kills. I mean, they actually did pretty well. But I always prefer Royal Peltas, like I said, just for those extra Javis. Thorax swords here, yeah, nothing really impressive. Again, proving that they're just not that reliable. And then we have NEBCYT, who's playing as Egypt. He did a pretty good job with his archers. 185 kills here is really good. His cav not really getting many kills, unfortunately. These Egyptian cav are just kind of sucky. Maybe better bringing another infantry unit in its place. Galatian Royal Guard here. I usually see these guys get 200, 300 kills. Unfortunately today only getting 150. Galatian Swords, yeah, getting kind of overwhelmed. The Quranian Axeman doing pretty well, getting 111 kills. His Pike's only 6 kills, is a real shame to see. And his Thorax Swords down here, 108 the best one got, and his 100 kills for his Thoros Spears. Backstage, Ace playing as Nervii. His OATHSWORN doing okay, 120 kills, 127 the best ones. Gallic Hunters getting 160 kills. 282 really good kills here for his archers. Fierce Swords, which he spammed a load of these guys out, getting 102 kills, the best one. And then he's got Guerrilla Swords down here. These guys must have been the guys that might have assassinated that Hellenic Cataphract, I wonder. But they did not get many kills, but I did not see them, so I wonder whether they were the ones that assassinated them. And then we have Dal 2706, who's playing as Galatia. 111 kills for his Galatian Nobleman, 102 kills for his Cappadocian Cav, 113, 150 kills for his Syrian archers. So some pretty good kills here for all of his missiles and his Cav. And then you got his Galatian legionaries here, which he spammed out, of course. 160 kills, I think the best one did. I mean, a lot of them getting around 150, 130. So they did okay, but nothing insane. And then his Galatian Swords down here getting 50, 94 kills, not too bad. But there you go, guys. That is the siege. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, do remember leave a like, subscribe from around here, and a comment to show your support. And until next time, Legionnaires, I will see you in the next siege. Bye for now.